Hi and good evening to everybody. Thank you for being here and joining us. With immense pleasure, I welcome you all. I am a speaker for today's topic and point of discussion, very crucial and important topic in today's. I would like everybody to thumbs up if they can hear me and they can see me. There are many participants. I have only received 5 thumbs up. Gear up, guys. Okay, great. I hope we all are doing very much fine in this pandemic era. I would say it's being ages we have been, juggling up inside our houses, keeping ourselves in a compact areas. But yes, the online journey so far in this pandemic has made everybody, easy to approach and with transparency and openness. I believe everybody would agree, at one point of time, there was a time when people used to be a bit hesitant while they used to come online. But now these things and the mindset have clearly changed. But yes, we should not deviate from today's topic, very interesting topic, I believe. So before we quickly start with this, without wasting much time, let me first of all introduce myself. I'm Arusha Sharma, a small experience of close to 14 years in the gamut of HR. And I have been, associated with many organizations, startups, I would say mediocre organizations and organizations which were, so-called MNCs. But yes, during the entire journey, I believe I have found that, the initial phase of my career, and I believe people will agree, who are participating today, that the initial phase when you try to struggle and try to, gear up yourself in being in any gamut or in any field, the time you always remember. So I thought to, share my experience with all of you and give you a glimpse of how you can gear up yourself and how you can prepare yourself basically, before entering into the HR field. So before we start, if you can just, guys, if you can just, put it in chat across, how many of you are from the HR field, currently employed or having experience? Just write experienced or fresher. Okay, I got few. Okay, great. So people here are, I would say, blend of experienced and freshers. Great. So I believe people who are already experienced might already being, aware about the facts that what all challenges we face when we enter into the HR industry. It's not about HR industry, I believe in across all industries. But why I'm talking about only HR, it's not because I have experience of HR. It's because it's one of those niche segment in the industry or a niche role in the corporates, wherein people treat HR professionals to be jack of all trades. So the most important factor which we see when we become a HR is that people approach you as in you are one person who is there to solve their problems. So when you are such a spokesperson or when you become such a spokesperson, when people go and approach to you, don't you think you should be well prepared in advance before you enter into that field? I believe everybody would be saying, yes, we wanted to gear up, Arusha, clear it out and let's start it quickly. Fine. So the main important agenda of today is how we can prepare ourselves before we start with the field. Human resource is usually called as human capital. And I believe, that human capitals are very strong, prominent factors to raise up the organization as well as the downfall of the organization. So let's quickly start how we can, enhance ourselves. There are a lot of challenges I believe we have recently seen in pandemic times when HR were juggling up to manage the employees. They are juggling up with their own skill sets, because we have not thought ever that this pandemic will be there, people will be working from home, and there will be many challenges which will be coming up, specifically when we talk about employee engagement and retaining the employees, right? So I would quickly proceed with this. Next slide. Okay, so first thing which we really wanted to understand is, am I really willing? Now, when we talk about willingness, whatever you do in your daily routine, there are a lot of things wherein you do something, you do wholeheartedly, something you do, just being biased, or something you do just because people say this, that you have to do it, right? So first of all, we have to really understand that we are going to have our career developed, designed. You are going to create a foundation of your career. So when you try to create a foundation of anything, and anything which is related to your life, you should understand that your willingness has to be there, and it has to be 100%. Unnecessarily, don't get into something which is just like a trend or a fashion. I have tried to quote up with an example here. You can see that, one person is sitting and just laying on the couch and relaxing, and just wanted to share that he has seen that there are people in the crew, they are wearing the crew t-shirts, jeans, and sneakers. So according to him, that's in fashion and trend, and he thinks it's cool, and he has opted to it. Suddenly, something which we opt just after seeing some people around us does not mean we are very much efficient into it. Does not mean that we have all capabilities and skill sets to develop in that field. So first thing which we have to understand is, are we really willing? So to understand we are willing, our willingness is there, we have to understand what is our goal. Let me give you a very quick and very engaging example of it. Once there was a child, he thought that, playing in the field is very, very entertaining, wherein studying at home is a bit boring. So what he did is, he created his goal. He wasn't aware what goal is, just being at the age of 7. He thought, let me just create my agenda of the day. I will play for 2 hours. I will study for 1 hour. So his goal was to play to 2 hours. Why? His interest was there. Similarly, when we think of creating something as a goal, we should also understand our interest is really digged out into our goal. Goal cannot be created just like, I wanted to achieve, I wanted to land up to Himalayas. I just wanted to roam around the world. Is it my goal? Am I really interested to travel? If I'm not a travel seeker, I cannot think of creating a goal which is not relevant to me as per my interest area. So think about it. What you need to do is just pull up one piece of paper, pen, sit down calmly for 5 minutes. Put out 5 important things which you think are very important and essential as per your interest areas. So what we need to do is, suppose if we are thinking of HR, right? So you have to understand what HR means, what HR professionals require to do, and how professionals can excel in the same industry. So for that, first thing which I would be requiring is, I should have good command on my communications, my language. I should be go-getter attitude person. I should always try to approach something which is in the development of all. So I'm giving you just example. You just need to write down on the piece of paper 5 things. Why 5 things? First thing will be for sure short, which you think is very essential. First thing, always we try to capture, which is first in our mind. So first thing will be for sure. Second thing will be bit sure. It can be 80%. Second or third thing will be something which you think, okay, fine, it will be there and I would love to be into it. Yes, then we will be having the fifth thing or fourth thing will be something where we think of, lending up into it. It can be, it cannot be. Fifth thing will be something wherein we wanted to assure that yes, if it is there as comparatively to first thing, I can deal with it. I can, be into it, but not at that mandate. So now five things will drive you to something which will be your interest area. So quickly moving into the next slide, we will be trying to understand how we can excel ourselves. Now, coming to the next one is, in today's scenario, people have seen that HR is not only, managing people. It is not about just recruiting people. It is about your own skill sets. Skill sets cannot be developed without education, without proper education, I would say. So in human resource, there was an era where people used to just be a postgraduate or a graduate, and they used to have I would say basic experience of a year or two. But after that, when they understood it, that yes, I need to be bit on the upper side of experience in terms of the education as comparatively to other people in order to guide them. So what they started is, they gradually started to upscale their education. So from graduation, when people used to think that they can be a arts graduate and they can excel managing the people, they started becoming the postgraduate. And slowly and gradually, the era which is today has come, wherein people think that they don't require only postgraduate degrees. Now, when it comes to postgraduate degree, there are a lot of institutes, there are a lot of, I would say, colleges and agencies which will be providing you and facilitating you top degrees. Don't be biased about degrees. Don't only think that post-graduation needs to be from top colleges. It can be from any colleges which is good in reputation and as well as good in placements. So in case if you are a graduate or postgraduate, then you need to upscale your skills or I would say education as per these skills. So now we will be moving it to the next era. So now what people have started doing is, they have started doing the HR certification courses. Now, when you go for interviews in different organization into HR, people usually, just try to read out your resume, and they see that, there are things which you have additionally get it into in terms of education. So there are HR certification courses. Now, what this certification courses will give you at the day end? If I'm doing something, it has to give something to me, right? So HR certification, what they do is, they will improve your knowledge, skill, experience, and also they will try to boost the performance of your learning spectrum. So how these certification courses, work out, they will give you the actual and practical understanding how things will work on. Now, this is something which is theory and which will be there on your resume, which will give you an additional bonus point when you go for an interview or when you try to develop yourself in your own organization, a hierarchy level above. If we are in an organization, we have the master degree, we have the HR certification, what next? I wanted to basically get into, something which is very tempting. And I would say, if I call tempting, does not mean we need to eat food. Okay. So tempting basically means something which is of my interest, because for me, interest is something which I always wanted to, pursue. So now coming to, I'm so sorry to interrupt. People are there, who are joining in. Okay, I just, in between, I just wanted to welcome you all again and thank you for joining us. Guys, we are already 19 minutes, delayed. I have already started, sorry. Okay, so we were talking about after the certification courses and after the post-graduation, what we need to do next. In case if you wanted to be into HR industry, you don't have any experience, that is in mandate. Why it is in mandate? Because when you go for interviews, the first foremost question which we HR people ask or the respective interviewer ask is, how many years of experience do you carry? So when I used to go for interview in one place of time, I used to think that I usually ask, how many years of experience I carry, because can't they see my skill sets? Can't they evaluate me on my skill sets? Can't they interview me? Can't they give me some questions which I can solve for them? Can't they give me live examples where I can give them the live solutions? But yes, at the day end, experience does matter, and it is very, very crucial and important part. Since we being freshers, usually companies are a bit hesitant, to hire freshers when it comes to HR. Yes, the recruiters can be hired, they can be trained as per the technologies, as per the processes. But when it comes to the HR, people who usually manage people, some sort of experience is required. So what you need to do is, you just need to go for some internship programs. There are a lot of immense of internship programs which are available around you. You can just go on, different job portals. There are fresher job portals available today. You can just go for internship program, do some internship. Now, when we go for internship, usually we have been, assigned for some specific and set criteria. Try to pull yourself a bit apart from the set criteria. Ask your reporting managers, if you can just, try to bit understand more about the HR functions. So in case if you being into the internship program and some recruitment process or a program has been allocated to you, try to go into some journalist functions also. Go and interact with some payroll guys, go and interact with some engagement people, try to understand how the basically HR altogether functions. So this will give you a better understanding and make you more stronger and confident person who can go and land up in a better and better job and situation in any sort of industry. So these three are basically in a nutshell very, very crucial and important parameters. Era has changed, completely changed. People have now started excelling themselves from post graduations to certification program and internship with very, very good reputed brands. So to excel themselves and to give them live practical understanding about the HR industry and HR field. Moving on to the next slide, in case if anybody is having any questions, I would love to answer all your questions after the presentation, right? So you can just note down your questions either in chat box right now or after the presentations. Okay, moving on to the next slide, what we need to do is in order to, excel ourselves. Okay, so now the first very important thing which you have to understand is soft skills. We have always been, whenever you are in graduation, post-graduation, or across any industry, people usually say, this guy does not have good soft skills. What soft skills are? Soft skills are nothing, just the natural way you wanted to tackle the situation. It is nothing else. It is, I would say, behavior which you adapt when you are working in any organization. So the behavior has to be very adaptive. The behavior has to be accurate. I will not say very perfect, but yes, it has to be very accurate as per the current scenario where you are in, right? So soft skills basically give you a boost up and as well upper edge when you try to basically admit yourself in any organization in different HR roles, right? So what these soft skills will give you when any interviewer asks you something, the softness, I would say, the type of communication you use, the type of examples you quote, the type of writing you give them to will give you an upper edge, and also the interviewer will be able to understand that this person is bit capable. Now, why soft skills are very important? Why not hard skills? There are two types of skills we'll be discussing in another videos. But yes, there are two types of major skills, soft skills and hard skills. Why majorly hard skills are not very much in demand in HR field? Why only soft skills? HRs, basically human resource people, are meant to tackle the people, right? They are really meant to handle the human resource. So when you try to handle some human resource, you are also a human at the day end, you are not a robot, right? So at the day end, when you try to handle some other human, you should understand how you can handle other human being. So in order to handle the other human being, you should be emotionally questioned. You should have that proficiency and I would say understanding to understand the person. You should be a team player. You should be able to adjust as per the situation and also make that person comfortable in the environment. The development of culture comes into soft skills only. So I have just tried to share percentage scenarios which is there as per the research from the National Soft Skill Association, they have reported 85% of job success come from having the well-developed soft skills. So in case if some people are there on today participating and they really wanted to know what soft skills are, they can always contact us. We do provide facilitate soft skill trainings also. So it is individual as well as in the groups also. So in case if somebody wants to think of that how they can crack the interview, soft skills are one of the most important factor in today's scenario when you are not having very great experience, right? Or you are a fresher. Now, when it comes to developing your soft skills, it will slowly and gradually be there when you will, be understanding the environment and you will be in a job for a bit longer term. Same for career builder report, 77% of the employee, they look for the candidates having good soft skills. So try to develop your soft skills. And soft skills are nothing which I have actually majorly mentioned 4 top soft skills which are required in HR: proactivity, communication skill, active listening, and I would say writing as well. And teamwork. Teamwork is nothing where you have to understand other team member and try to bring team into a success area, right? Moving on to the next slide quickly. Okay, now coming to the latest trends, you have to understand this fact. You have not been completely accepted by the industry at present, right? But yes, if you are looking forward to be into HR, you have to understand the recent trend, specifically after this pandemic. Things have changed massively. I have worked long for 14 plus years in this HR industry. I have never ever seen trends of HR, specifically an industry which is being run by policies, procedures, and I would say rules and regulations, right, have been changing so frequently. We as an HR professional have to understand, we people who are looking forward to pursue their career in HR have to understand that the trends should be familiar to them. They should understand what is going on in the industry, right? So keep yourself updated and boost up with the latest trends. So I have shown few of the latest trends here. As per comparatively to the pre-COVID era, right, people have now started judging employees and evaluating employees on basis of their skill sets. So now you have to understand how you need to recruit people, how you need to understand people, how you need to interview people on basis of their skills. Experience does matter, as I said in the initial beginning, right? It does matter, but at the same time, somebody who is not very experienced have good skill sets is having more prominent chances to basically gear up, right? Similarly, remote working trend has been in fashion now. Social media recruiting is a massive term, to discuss about in detail. So you have to understand how people, basically recruit into the social media phases. Now, coming to the HR technology, it's again a debate, I would say, question for people. Some people are not very tech savvy. Some people do not prefer to have technology in HR. But yes, with this pandemic, we have to understand it is not very practically possible to be prepared all time to interact with any person in person. So you have to understand that technology is now part and parcel of HR. So try to drive through technology, not be dependent on technology, as I have said in my earlier video also. Right, so you try to have the HR trends in place, try to log in and try to be a part of HR forums where you can, get the updates about the recent trends in HR. Moving on to the next slide, right, we have to understand one thing more. The social media has really given you, I would say, hit when it comes to creating your own presence in the market. So when you are a fresher, or I would say when you are a not very experienced person and you wanted really to place yourself somewhere in the HR forum, right, try to build your own HR presence, try to be your own brand, right? I don't want people to recognize me by my organizations I have worked or by my organization I'm working for. I want myself to be, representative of myself. So try to figure out how you can be your brand. The 2 very simple ways in today's scenario I have quoted here is try to be very active on the social media platforms, specifically LinkedIn when it comes to HR. And also, this will not only give you an approach to contact with people who are already experienced in the industry, some top giants in the HR industry, but also they will start, looking forward to you, and they will try to interact with you in case if they have some openings, or they are looking forward to hire more people in terms of experience, or in freshers also, they can always approach you. So it will give you a wider spectrum in terms of having bigger family of HR. Second, which is very, very important, is start contributing to the online content. Guys, this is something wherein I am not requesting everybody to become a content writer, right? We are talking about HR. Let's stick to HR. So when we talk about writing online content, that means that we have to be a bit active in writing about the HR. So whatever you have knowledge, try to read more, try to understand more from online internet, and try to write it. This will give you an upper edge of, wherein you wanted to put yourself as a brand. So you have to showcase yourself, right? So try to put some online contents, right? Starting blogs. Put your comments on the HR forum. This will also give you an upper edge when you talk about being into the HR industry. This will give you an immense, I would say, influence on other people. So this is just an example of the graph which we have quoted here, that, people who have been not doing these things have been not noticed by the people, right, in the HR forum, wherein people who have started doing it have been noticed 20 times and 40 times and then 60 times earlier, right? So this is an actual, I would say, feedback from my side to everybody. If you have not started doing it, please start doing it. This will definitely give you results. Now, the thing which you have already, I would say, used to understand from very long eras, right, is that start selling yourself. Marketing professionals used to say this, that yes, I need to sell myself, I need to sell my product. Now in HR, when you try to go for an interview, when you try to interact with other people, or when you try to put yourself up front the other person who is an experienced HR, right? You have to sell yourself. You yourself are a product. Try to understand this thing. So first thing what you need to do it while you are trying to selling yourself is try to put realistic figures and facts in your resume. Don't beautify your resume, which is completely wrong. Why it is wrong? The HR professionals will give you a glance at your resume, and they will understand, oh, this is not possible because you are not experienced, or you merely have few years or months of experience, right? So try to put whatever is the real figures and facts in your resume. You can always give explanations to what you have written in your resume, but yes, it has to be realistic. Then try to enhance your personality. I don't want to say that yes, you have to wear very fashion clothes or professional or corporate clothes only, but yes, try to enhance your personality in terms of that aura of your should give other people a positive vibe, as well as they should feel comfortable with you when they are talking to you. So that personality has to be groomed up. You have to keep your approach very adaptive and attitude very adapted. Now, when we talk about HR, yeah, the one thing which notion I would say is there in the industry is people think, okay, fine, HR, I don't want it to go to HR. They will not listen to me. They will either, what they will do is they will say, okay, fine, I'll get back to you soon. Very, very, layman statement, which people usually quote for HR, but this is completely wrong, right? In this era, people have now completely changed in HR industry. They have started gelling up with people. They have started, opening up with people. They have started now making people comfortable that, yes, we are in part and parcel of your own team. So come and develop that attitude and be having adaptive approach. That is very, very important. Don't try to be, a rude gentleman. Next is alert and awareness. Now, what do I mean by alert and awareness is nothing, just be aware about what's going around you in HR, right? So try to read out few news, try to read out few updated articles which are coming up, try to see some interviews of HR people who have been recently changed, right, of good organizations or developing organizations or even startups, right? You don't know when learning comes up. So try to be a bit alert and create awareness everywhere you can. Also, ability to relate and learn from real experiences, which is very, very practical. This will help you out when you give your interviews as well, and when you try to put figure in front of the employees of your organization. So try to relate, and whatever you say, give in very, very simple and easy language, which is very much easy for other people to understand. Try to relate them with the real experiences of what you have handled so far. So this will not only promote you in terms of an experienced person, but at the same time it will also give you an upper edge when you talk about that, okay, fine, I have handled this situation in past, so people will understand slowly and gradually, okay, fine, my HR is very much proficient and they have experience also. Nobody will going to ask you how many years of experience do you carry. So this is like something which you will be trying to wrap up on your experience. Then you should be a reliable and go person too, right? So whenever you feel, I would say a bit demotivated in terms of the productivity, when any employee is there in the organization, they should understand, okay, fine, I am not being so productive. What should I do? How I can enhance my productivity? What is the next level I need to go in, right? So you should be the go-getter person for that person as well, not only people who are happy. So be a reliable resource wherever you are. In current scenario, if you are a fresher, you have to be reliable. How you can be a reliable resource? When you go for an interview, I'm just giving an example. When you go for an interview, in front of the interviewer, you can always share your past experiences, be it related to your family, friends. It hardly matters, guys, if you try to put any example in your interview which is related to your personal life will impact, right? It does not impact. So it will give interviewer a feeling, okay, fine, this person is a person who learns from his or her own life. So this will give you an upper edge for sure. Moving on the next slide, quickly, the most important thing which you have to understand in HR is learn and learn. Learning should not never be stopped, right? So in cases wherein people think that case studies help, definitely it does help. So you have to learn from different cases, live cases of the corporate organizations. YouTube channels are everywhere. You can always access to different videos. You can always see how giant people in the HR gamut, they try to solve the problem. So try to learn from those case studies. Also, try to speak to your family, friends, or somebody who is working, who is in service person, right? Try to speak to them. See how the company HR of their organization functions. Try to understand if there is a situation in the organization, how the HR handled that situation. This will give you definitely bonus points when you go for an interview or when you try to put yourself up in terms of the years of experience. Moving on to the next slide, there are a lot of, I would say, career opportunities when it comes to HR, but you have to create your own interest. Suppose I wanted to be a payroll journalist guy, right? So I wanted to be a payroll expert, basically. So I have to understand in payroll, what does it mean? It means the laws, the employment laws. I have to be very, very friendly with it. So try to understand and try to study more. When it comes to HR recruiting, so if I wanted to be a talent acquisition expert, then I have to understand that yes, in talent acquisition, I should have that capabilities and a skill set where I can interview people. So I should be confident enough while I am speaking over the phone or on video. There are a lot of careers in HR, but what we need to do is we need to really understand what is our skill set and what is our interest area, right? So try to develop your skill sets and your interest area as per your expertise field which you wanted to grow into, right? So as I gave you an example, I wanted to be into payroll, then you have to develop yourself as a payroll person, right? Now, moving into the next slide. Okay. So here I can see, let me just quickly scroll it down. Okay, so moving to the next slide is wherein we wanted to really make this work and happen with you. So we really wanted to focus on how you can start creating you as a new you. Now, what new you does not mean that I wanted to all over, develop myself in terms of my personalities, in terms of my, career aspirations. I wanted to really develop my communication. Is it what I need to do today itself? No, it will slowly and gradually start working on. But to start working on, you have to start from today. So what you need to do is you just need to sit, relax, and think what skill sets and capabilities you have, wherein through that you can develop yourself and enter into the HR field. So people, this is what I believe can help you out when you wanted to develop yourself in the HR field. Now, in terms of any questions you have, I would really love to reply to all your questions. I'm so sorry for quick disconnect which happened. So yes, I am receiving your questions. Please, I would love to answer them. Okay. Yes, we are very much there on the social media platforms. You can always subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel of by the name of AIMSTS Private Limited. You will be getting many information on HR, concepts and the subject. As well, we are also coming up with different topics where we wanted to enrich each one of you to make you understand that, yes, this is what the HR forum means, and this is what, platform through which I can grow myself into the HR industry. Yes, definitely. We would be sharing the links with you shortly. Okay. Okay. Fine. So somebody, is asking that, okay, great. So somebody is asking that, I'm a fresher and I wanted to grow in the HR field. I do have good communication skills, and as well, I have certification programs. What should I do next? Dear, you don't need to do much thing. You just need to go and hunt for a right job for you if you are looking forward to be a service person. So how you can go is, there are different job portals as I shared. I would love to help you out. You can always connect me over LinkedIn on our AIMSTS page. We do come up with a lot of job opportunities for fresher as well as for the experienced and senior level professionals as well. So you can always connect with us on AIMSTS page. You will be getting updates there as well. So in case if you are looking forward for any other development or any other skills which you need to develop for you, you are most welcome to contact us. Okay. Fine. So another question which I am receiving here is, thank you so much guys for putting your question across. So another question which I am receiving here is, okay, I am a HR professional with 7+ years of experience. Thank you for being in the HR industry. I wanted to understand how in the same organization I can get the growth. Very relevant question is, okay, so in terms of HR, not only in HR, I would say across in any field where you are and you wanted to excel in the same field, in the same organization. Unfortunately, in private organizations, there are not so written tests, where you can just clear the written test and you can get to the above level. There are performance parameters. So to ensure that you are well driven in terms of your performance, you have to keep a close check on your skills. So let's suppose if you are an HR person and you wanted to get promoted from a HR executive to a senior executive or assistant manager HR, you have to understand you have those developed soft skills. Yes, developed soft skills that are very crucial. At the same time, hard skills are also required when it comes to being adaptive to the technologies, upcoming technologies. Let's suppose the payroll. There are a lot of payroll softwares are there. There are a lot of performance management systems which are inbuilt. HRIS is there. So try to have hands-on on those technologies, which will give you an upper edge. Also, people will like you to be there in the system for longer term. So the management will try to flourish you to the above level. Okay. Okay, so by this, we are just going to wrap up our today's webinar. We have the last question. I would really love to answer this. So nicely, I would say, a framed question. Okay, so the person is asking me, I am a HR executive at present in the organization. I have my manager there who is 12 years experienced person, and he don't wanted me to get the raise in the organization. Oh my God. Okay, so he's asking, what should I do? I don't want to lose the organization because it has very good culture. Only my manager is not that great. Okay, so I'm so sorry for this, dear. But yes, I would always say that it is not about individual, you have to understand why your manager is not that great. First thing. Second thing is, the grass is always green on the other side, right? So think about that. Try to create a rapport with your manager. Try to speak to your manager more. At times it happens that when we are into a specific position, specifically in a senior level position, right, there are circumstances where we are bound not to cross the lines. So we have to understand at any level that the person who is working on the other side is in a comfortable situation, is in a situation where that person can help you out. So try to develop that rapport with your manager, first thing. Second thing, how you can excel yourself is try to put your shoes on your work. Now, that does not mean that you need to put your shoes on a text. It means that whatever you are doing, try to fulfill that commitment, right? So suppose there are a lot of things, in case if you are only team member of your manager, then there might be a lot of responsibilities over the manager as well. So try to accompany your manager in terms of the responsibilities. That will definitely give your manager a confidence on you, and that will help you out also to grow. Third, foremost important thing, if you wanted to excel in your own organization, is try to understand what are the opportunities in the organization. It can be, wherein you are a person who is working as an executive level. Maybe organization does not feel like that they should have some at senior executive level. But yes, promoting the internal resource, every management want. So they don't want to give some outsider a chance tomorrow, coming and making that person onboarded at senior executive level. So try to understand the opportunities in the organization. You can always speak to your manager. What are the growth path for you? So this will definitely help you in terms of understanding, okay, fine, this is now where I need to grow. This is what I need to do. And in order to understand it more better, we can always connect on LinkedIn. I am very much available to help you out. Guys, thank you so much for being here and giving your presence here. I am really honored to share my understanding about the HR industry. We are coming up with lot many big shot giants of HR, I would say, in upcoming webinars. I want you all to learn from their experiences. People who are coming on boarded shortly will be giving you an depth understanding how company functions from the HR perspective. HR is no more person who is just going to manage the resources. Now HR are very, very crucial and important part when it comes to business, running business, and also the ownership of business. Does not mean that you be a director, right? It means the ownership of making the business flourish in terms of human resources, making them working in a professional and adaptive culture, and also keeping the organization brand name live in the market. So by this, thank you so much again for joining us. We will be connecting very soon on another webinar by AIMSTEER's team. Thank you so much. In case if I am not able to reply to any of your questions, please don't mind. You can always ping us. We will be sending you in person responses from our end. Yes, the all participants will definitely be getting the participation certificates. So shortly in the chat box, you will get the link of the form. Please fill the form with your basic details so that we will be able to share the certificates within 48 hours from today, right, with the correct information. I don't want it to mingle up with any names. So that's the only exercise we need to do. I would appreciate your efforts and giving time to us. I hope this webinar might have in some way or the other helping you out in future or today. In case if you are looking forward for any other development of yours in terms of HR, we are most welcome you for coming and connecting with us. Right. So thank you so much, guys. With this, we would like to end the session for today and see you very soon. Stay healthy and let's be connected in a stronger way as we used to. Thank you so much.